How's it going, everybody? Welcome to the channel. This is Big Daddy Dave, and this is a map tour for a new-ish mod map to Farming Simulator 22 called the Farmhouse. And we're going to start with the description from the mod hub, and it reads, the map represents the area of Andalusia, real, and has no city, only an industrial area. 3 large forest areas, 1 vineyard which is ready for harvesting, and a plot of olive trees which is also ready for harvesting. 630 olive trees were planted for the harvest. The map has 22 fields, not all of which are flat, some are slightly uphill. Now, I said new-ish earlier because there is a changelog. It is changelog 1.0.1.0, and it reads, map for consoles and PCs. So this map was originally released for PCs. Now here we are having it on consoles. Deleted scripts, added activation markers in the workshop, modified farmland prices, minor fixes. I hope you have as much fun playing the map as I had creating it. It is the first map to be made available to the public. There are required mods for this map, starting with the Olives and Olive Picker by Raleigh Christie 1 VSR Modding Sir, and the Placeable Steel Silo by ER Shaba VSR Modding Sir. This map was created by Truck69 and is 119.02 megabytes to download. If we take a look at the map, this is what it looks like. We start out here on the main starting farm amongst all of our equipment and surrounded by a bunch of olive trees. We start out by owning farmland number 1 and 4. 1 is our main starting farm and a bunch of olive trees. Like I said, all these little purple speckles here are all the olive trees, and they are the shakeable olive trees. They're not the olive groves. And then farmland number 4, which is this one here, is a field of wheat ready for harvest. And these are all ready for harvest as well, all these trees. You cannot buy all areas of the map. If we take a look, there are just little slivers in between fields and whatnot here in the north that you're not able to buy. This little road network that's right here, you're not able to buy as well. We do start out with some animal pens. We have a sheep barn and a horse stable. Contracts are available. We do start with the production chains, the carpentry, and there are no collectibles on this map. If we take a look at mods specific to this map, though, we start out here, go down to the mods and DLCs. There are no mods specific to this map on this map for the mods and DLCs under the buy menu. This is specifically the Olives and Olive Picker for those shakeable olives. Now, if we take a look at the build menu here, there is nothing under buildings, productions, but under animals, if we take a look under horses, there is the farmhouse down in the bottom right hand corner. This horse stable, the stable horse 69, this one is a mod specific to this map. This has been modified for this map. Now, there is nothing under pigs, sheep, chickens, bees, or others, and there is nothing under decorations or under landscaping. Now, because we do start here at the starting farm, let's take a look at our starting equipment. Go under the buy menu, and under owned items, under small tractors, we have the New Holland TK4 methane power and the Buer 6105. Under medium tractors, we have the Massey Ferguson 8S205 and the John Deere 4755. Under harvesters, the Deutz-Fahr Topliner 4090H. Cars, the Lizard Pickup 1986. Under trailers, we have the Welger DK115. The header for the Deutz-Fahr. Under grape technology, we have the Hardy Mercury 4000L. Mulchers, we have the TMC Kinsella TPN 140. Under cultivators, we have the Raby EG39. Under seeders, we have the Nordstein HK25 and S3030. Front loaders, a Hauer XB190. Under header trailers, the trailer for the Deutz-Fahr header. Under weights, we have the 10 Winkle Pack 1500. And under miscellaneous, we have the Lizard Olive Picker. And that is it. So let's take a look around starting farm here. We have our main silo right here. And over here we have the debris crusher. You can see it's kind of buried off to the side of the farm. Over in this direction, I will show this. We do have quite a bit of starting inventory, I should say. We've got some fertilizer, some seeds, and some lime. So you do have to pick it up off the floor, but it is there. We have some herbicide tucked away over here. A lot of our starting equipment underneath the awnings there and there. Over here, we have a wardrobe trigger right here, and a sleep trigger here. Fuel tank right next to the house right there. And that's it for the starting farm. That's relatively straightforward. Let's go ahead and hop in here. And before we get going, it just dawned on me, I didn't show any of the field prices and all that stuff, so I will do that really quickly. So there is a pretty good range of field prices. Now, for the actual fields themselves, we start out here on some of the smaller ones, 62,000, 63,000, 120,000, 120,000 almost, 113,000, 100,000. That's pretty relatively decent starting prices. You get a little bit bigger up here in the northwest here for 400,000, 225,000, almost 600,000. You get this kind of corner field up here for 515,000. You get these really big ones down here for 829,000 as well as 889,000. And then you get a bunch of forestry bits down here, 530,000, 830,000, 618,000, 648, 397, and 764. So the forestry is going to be very, very expensive. It's going to be very hard to start out with forestry. Even the smallest one here is almost $400,000. So quite a bit to go through to get to forestry. But let's go ahead and take off and show around the map. Let's go ahead and pan out just a little bit. And you can see your farm is just absolutely surrounded by all these little olive trees. Every single one of these are the olive trees, and you need those olive shakers. You walk up to it here, and you just wrap your little shaker around it, turn it on, and you got to shake these out. It's a little difficult to use and to get the olives out of using the olive picker, the olive shaker, but it is there. You do have a water reservoir right here. I'm not certain if you're able to extract out of it using trailers and whatnot, but you do have an entrance right there to be able to potentially get water from. Going straight south from our starting farm, right here in front of me, you'll see, is a big stone quarry right here. So pretty nice. We go straight down. So we started here on the farm, came out, and went directly south. Farmland 60, 35,586. Not a bad price for all that stone right there. And you can make a lot of stuff out of that. So a lot of lime, a lot of whatever. I mean, sky is the limit. So we're going to continue going out towards the west of the map. You can see the roads are very wide. You got plenty of room to get some bigger equipment all throughout the map. There's only certain areas where the space is going to be somewhat restricted, but not enough to be terribly concerned about. Now, coming up here to my right is our one and only production point that we own. Let's get out of here, open the gate, and this is the carpentry. We have the output right here. There's the trigger for it right here. Just a standard carpentry. And around the side here, we have our input right here with our wood cell trigger right here. So now let's hop back out of here and continue to make our way in this direction. Now the road is going to slightly shift to the northwest before we make a hard shift to the northeast. And you can see the terrain on this map is actually very lovely. You get a lot of different elevation shifts, both within the northern or southern part of the map and throughout all the fields. Like it's very, very nice in the way that it's kind of laid out. You got this very nice gradual easing coming down to the landing at this end of the map. So we're going to slow down here and make a left. And we need to slow down here. Go over the bridge. Now there is going to be some things that are going to need to be addressed on this map. 100% going to have to happen. Starting out with this area right here, directly in front of me, there is supposed to be a road directly in front of me and off to my right. You can see, especially over in that direction, where the road starts right here. You can see it. And then if we pan out, you can see the road is hiding underneath the grass. So that's going to have to be addressed, because that grass, if you cut it, it's just going to regrow. You're going to have to retexture it or something if you're able to retexture it. I'm not even 100% certain about that. But here we're going to go towards the north. So we are going to take the hidden road here. We're going to pull off to the side, come across the street here, and here we have the animal dealer. Now, if you want to purchase animals for your pens and pastures on the map, or if you've installed any yourself, go ahead and come to this location, or using the same icon at the pens and pastures, you can go ahead and purchase the animals. Now, if you use this icon directly, whether it's here or at the pens and pastures directly, you will incur an additional fee. That fee is associated to a delivery fee. The animal dealer is taking the animals from this location and delivering them to wherever you have them on the map for you. Now, if you want to save that money, save that delivery fee, you bring an animal trailer to this location, you park within the box, and then you click on the dialog box and you load directly into your animal trailer. You then can deliver the animals to your pens and pastures yourself, and it saves a delivery fee. Now, to kind of put it into perspectives, we bring up the horse stable, for instance. $300 per horse that you are trying to have delivered. It's $100 per adult cow that you have. So depending on the number of animals you're going to buy, it's going to add up, and it's going to add up very, very quickly. So now here, across the street directly in front of me, is the farmer's market sell point. We're going to get turned around and now head in this direction. Now, I don't typically show these things, but I show the first one where it was the kind of rock quarry area here. Now, this is the second area because it's the reason I don't typically show it is it's not actually marked on the map. But this one kind of caught my eye when I was making my tour around, so I wanted to show it off. Just like the stone quarry there, this one here is something you can purchase. Now, it is extremely expensive, somewhere in the vicinity of $800,000. Now, if we take a look at the map and show where we've been and what we've seen so far, we were here at the stone quarry. We came all the way around to the carpentry area here, came back out to this road here, across the river, up to this little landing here, up here to the animal dealer, and then to the farmer's market, then came back here and up to here. Now, if we take a look at farmland number 50, you can purchase it for almost $900,000, $895,050. That's a lot of money, but it might be worth it. It might be worth every penny, because check out what you get in here. I believe this is wheat, silage, fertilizer, solid fertilizer, chaff, pig feed, wood chips. I'm pretty sure if you buy this land, you're able to get all these things out of here. Or if you want to be a little cheaty, if you want to kind of do it that way, you could potentially have the forage wagon, not the forage wagon, the forage, it's the forage piping tool. I forget what it's called. Forage auger, forage something, and you can pick up off the floor without actually owning the property that it resides on. So that is something that you could technically do without owning the land. But that's a lot of stuff to buy. That is a lot of stuff that you get for the $900,000. It adds up really quickly. Now we're going to come in here. This is our horse stable. If we come through the hedge here, we have room for 14 horses. Feed goes in here. And then over here we have our sheep barn. Room for 65 sheep. Feed goes in here, and the wool, I believe, spawns out here. Yes, there it is. There's the box right out here. Just kind of hidden amongst the grass. So now we're going to hop back in the truck and make our way down the road. Okay. So now we're going way out towards the east of this map. Going to pass by this sell point here. This is the GCHB grain elevator sell point. And going way out towards the east side of the map. We come up here. This is the gas station, which is really nice. I like this. I like the gas station, how it's kind of perched up here on the mountainside or hillside. So very, very cool. Now we head off in this direction, doing a little bit of backtracking. Ooh, almost ended badly there. Slow down here and make a left. Okay. Now here, pull in. That cell point there to my right, my immediate right, is the bowling center station cell point. And then tucked away in that brown barn in the background there, that is the animal dealer cell point. Continuing on in this direction, we have the repair trigger right here and a shop trigger right here. And it just occurred to me, yeah, it just dawned on me I didn't go exactly where I needed to go. Let me take a look at the map just real quick. So we were here. We were at this kind of buyable area with a whole bunch of product. Came down over here, we saw the horse barn and the sheep barn, came back out, saw the GCHB grain elevator, came out and around to the gas station, backtracked down to here where we saw the bowling center station cell point, the animal dealer cell point, the repair trigger, and the shop trigger right over here. And I'm just trying to see if there's an area. Yes, there is. Okay, perfect. So that's actually going to be kind of sort of back on our way. So I have to kind of backtrack just ever so slightly. Or not backtrack, but go out of my way off the route that I originally planned. Because I forgot to take note of the biogas. And that's kind of important. Kind of important to show that off. So we're going to climb the hillside up here. Whee! There we go. Continue to climb, really, really climb. All right, perfect. So now we turn down this road and we follow this all the way out to the biogas plant. You can see it directly in front of me. Okay, slow down. Now, to take a look at the map again really quick. We were here at the repair trigger and the shop trigger. We then came out around and then followed in between these two fields here out to this area here. Farmland number 61 you can purchase for $41,256. If we do that, you'll see that the triggers now appear. This is just a normal biogas plant, nothing too out of the ordinary here. Solid input here, liquid input here, and solid output, aka digestate, over there. A couple bunkers for silage right over here. And that's it for this area. Now we need to backtrack to the last of the production points and the last point of interest on this map. It's coming up here to my left, this facility right here. Follow this around here. And this is the oil mill. You can purchase this for $80,000 and input here, output there. And that is it. That is everything to show here for the farmhouse. Now is time to render my opinion and let you know what I think. 0 to 5 scale as per usual. So I'm going to come right out and say this. I don't like it. I do not like this map whatsoever. So let me elaborate as to why. First off, I want to say the pros. Pro number one, the landscape and topography is amazing. I actually very much love the way that this map looks. The kind of rolling hills, the mountainsides, everything that we have here, all these fields with these giant humps and hills in them. I love that. I absolutely love that. The olive trees, I'm not huge on olive trees because they're really difficult. They don't work that well in game, so it's a real kind of nuisance to get them to function properly. But again, you look at these rolling hills in the fields here, that's amazing. I love the way that looks. And it just makes it feel very nice and almost challenging, because you're going to have to think of, okay, what direction can I attack this field in? I can't go, kind of side to side in this direction. I have to go long ways in this direction. And if I were to go in that kind of side to side motion, I'm going to be just struggling with certain bits of equipment to get up these hills. So yeah, it's going to be something that you're going to have to think about. You're not going to be able to just kind of slap a worker onto it and then just turn them loose. So yeah, the topography, the landscape, the elevation shifts, love it. Love it, love it, love it. Now, let's get on to the things I don't like, because that was a short list, but this one is a long list, unfortunately. Starting with the wet dirt look. Looking right here in front of me, this looks awful. Now this, I understand this might not be the map maker's fault, and none of this is meant to be a personal attack or anything like that. I'm simply saying that the reasons that I do not like this map and what really kind of stand out to me. This wet look looks really bad, and the reason it looks really bad is because it looks so shiny, so reflective, and there's these large pools of it like this. This almost looks like epoxy, like freshly poured epoxy. Like this is really, really bad, and it just really lurches out at you. Every single time I'm driving around and I see this, it doesn't look like wet dirt. It looks really shiny, really shimmery, and just really stands out. Now, in small little pools, it's not that bad. It's really not. But because the map maker used such big globs of it, it really stands out. It really, really does. Outside of that, the random stone piles. There's a lot of things on this map that just doesn't make a lot of sense to me. This is one of them. You get these random stone piles in between everything, in between all of your olive trees. That doesn't make sense to me whatsoever. Why would these stones be here other than they're just there as a kind of charity case? You got this huge pile of stones here on the side of your field. And again, another example of the water look. If we look right here, you can see how it's just really shiny, reflective, and just because it's in such a large smattering here, it just really looks bad. It really just stands out. Again, another example right here. This one looks really, really bad because of this kind of elevation shift, and the large glob of it just looks really rough. So that's kind of the big issue with that for me. Next thing on my list is the color palette. The color palette, I think, is extremely, extremely limited, and because of that limited palette, it makes it look very cartoonish in places. The large grass fields that you get every once in a while, because of all the different colors of flowers in them, that just looks really kind of out of place. Very out of place. Because up here in the south portion of the map, you get this very kind of muted, toned down kind of look, and it looks very authentic. It looks very nice in this area, but there's not a lot going on in this area other than forest and trees. But regardless, that still looks nice, and you get all these stones that are kind of thrown in there as well, these giant boulders. Again, it looks really good in the south. Outside of these large globs of water, it looks really good, and you get these kind of undergrowths that are here as well. That really kind of adds and enhances to it. Again, you get these really nice looking fields, these rolling hills and all this stuff. Again, looks really, really good. Some other things that really kind of stood out to me that really kind of just took me off guard was the random placement of these 4x4 stud posts randomly throughout the map. There's random times where you'll just start driving around and you'll see these like iterations of studs just kind of hanging out right here. Here's a perfect example, as a matter of fact. These 4x4 studs, they're just here. Now, I don't know if this is meant for like the forestry work, for you to for you to put down your trees and whatnot to build it up to keep them from rolling off, but that just seems weird to use. I don't know. It might be used in real life. I could be wrong. See, again, here's another one over here. I don't know. I think I'd rather use like a mod to put these down. But again, I don't think you're able to remove these. These are a permanent thing here. And if you can't remove them, if you do come out here and do forestry, you're not going to be able to take those away. They're always going to be there. And you can't do anything with the land afterwards. Now, it's going to be hard to do anything with the land anyways because of how uneasy the terrain is. That's going to be definitely difficult. But don't put things in the way that is going to make it just that next level more difficult. See, there's another one right there. The next issue I have is actually just up here at your production point, the carpentry area. So it's nice to see that we get a production point right off the bat. That is nice. I do like that. But if we look in this area here, you get this kind of, I don't know if this is supposed to be asphalt, stone, whatever, but you get these trees that are growing in amongst the, I don't know, like pavement, asphalt, stones, whatever. It just looks out of place. But it also looks so wide open, like nothing is going on here. Now, yes, you can buy the land, you can tweak it up and build it up how you want, but this is a really large plot of area for you to kind of, buy up, build up, and do all that stuff. So it's just, again, it just seems very much out of place for the facility, the main shop area, to be in the middle of it and nothing else around it. Now, the one thing that the map maker did that is kind of a nice thing is that they kind of threw some decorations. They used these standard Giants production points. That's fine if they do like exactly this. They add the decoration. The problem with this specific example of decorations is this thing here. Whatever this thing is here, this kind of chute that's here, is right in the middle of where you're supposed to drop off all your wood. All your product is right here. And if you look at this, you can put in wood and you can put in planks. If you're trying to bring wood here, it's going to be a nightmare. You're going to have to back up, especially if you got some of the bigger stuff like a semi-truck or a tandem axle trailer or something like that. You're going to have to try and back into this area. Instead of just being able to just pull in and go, you're going to have to actually be precise and pull in here and hope that you don't have like a really long trailer that has like a 6-foot section and another 6-foot section. That second 6-foot section that's closest to the cab is now outside of the trigger zone here for you to be able to accept that. That's going to be a real nuisance if that's the case, because then you're going to have to back in, do the back section of 6 meter logs, and then turn around, pull in face forward, and then get that second set. That's going to be a real nuisance if that's the case. But again, it's one of those, I appreciate the additional decoration. It jazzes up the base game buildings that we're so beyond used to by now. So it's nice to see when a map maker does that, but I would have loved to have seen this facility kind of more pre-populated, more kind of built out and taken care of. Same thing with the shop area, the repair trigger area, the shop trigger area, and that whole kind of center section of the map. This one right over here. This is huge. This area is absolutely huge. It's $250,000 just to purchase this area, and you've got the bowling center station for some reason when it's like the bread, the bakery thing. I don't know why bowling center, but I especially don't understand this. The animal dealer. Why is this called the animal dealer when the animal dealer themselves are right here? Why not put it in this area across the street? Why not add a little bit of area over off to the side or something like that and put the animal dealer sell point with the animal dealer themselves? That just really kind of caught me off guard. This barn just sticks out like a sore thumb, and it doesn't make sense for it to be in here, especially if the whole goal of this area is to just be something that you are building up and able to purchase and able to kind of take managerial control over. then this barn makes no sense. And I really hope that if you're able to buy this area, you're able to sell that facility, but you can't sell the, likely can't sell the trigger. I'm kind of speaking, I don't know for certain, but again, it's one of those, like, the fact that I even have to question that is a problem in my opinion. So what else we got here? Oh, okay, so the other issue that I have are some of the randomly plowed fields in this map. Some of the random fields that are around. So for an example, around your starting farm with all the olive trees, all of these olive trees are inside of a field area. And you'd think, oh, maybe it's planted with grass or something. Now, you can plant something in here. It's going to be extremely difficult because you are going to have to work your way in between all these trees and whatnot. So it's going to be a nuisance. It's going to be a pain to get in between all that stuff and put something in that field. Or you can try and paint over it if the game will allow you. But yeah, it seems like there's a weird inconsistency throughout this map. A weird kind of, I don't know, almost like the map was trying to do too much. So it's just one of those kind of, I struggle when I'm running around this map looking at things and I'm seeing kind of these oddities. Now, again, we come over into this kind of buildable area. Again, this looks like a giant placeable area, and that's fine. It's fine that it's like that. That doesn't bother me. What bothers me here is you have this kind of modern facility, this kind of modern-ish building here that's supposed to represent the dealer where you can buy things. And then right next to it is a American-style barn that just makes absolutely no sense to me whatsoever. This barn, and from base game, like this is a base game barn, and I don't understand why this is here. But I especially now, can you might be able to sell this, if you own the land. This is the one I'm talking about, and I can't. Oh wait, so I can potentially sell the animal dealer. Maybe sell the animal dealer. Maybe can sell it. So yeah, it's one of those where I don't mind that it's built out like this, meant for you to build it up and to do stuff with. This, when you have the bakery or whatever this model it was supposed to be, and then it's the bowling center for some reason, and it's tagged with Affinel des Champs, which I believe is like bakery in some other language, or pretty close to it. I could be wrong exactly what that translates out to, but regardless, we're well established with what that facility is, and it's a very jarring nonetheless. Let's see, the next thing is and going back to the weird kind of plowing and all that stuff. Like, this is the kind of example of the color palette I was talking about before. You got the reds, the pinks, the blues, the purples, all these different colors that are just kind of tucked away in here. That just makes it really kind of stand out and really kind of catches your eye. So again, that cartoonish feel. Now, going back over here, we were talking about this during the tour. The grass areas that are over the road network in this area, that's a problem in my opinion, because, I can't see where I'm supposed to go. I know there's a road here. I look, and if you look up like this, you can see where the road is. But that's, again, a problem. Now, going back to the random plowed fields, coming up here where the sheep and horse stable are, there's random fields just all throughout that whole area right there. And I don't understand why. I don't get why that it would exist. Again, here it is right here. It's almost like a border around this whole area. You can see it's just kind of there for some reason. Now, there might be a purpose. There might be something I don't know about. That I'm just not 100% sure of. This area here, whatever this is, I don't know what this is supposed to be, but it's like random flowers, random plants, random this, all in these little plots. And then you get all these little subfields here that, I don't know, it's almost like supposed to be a testing area within the map. Like this, again, the map just, it's almost like the map is trying to be too many things at once. It's supposed to be a testing map. It's supposed to be this. It's supposed to be that. It's supposed to be a high elevation shift kind of map. It's supposed to be this, supposed to be that. The one thing that really drives me nuts, really kind of got under my skin quite a bit, is this. I understand this is supposed to be a tag for the map maker. I understand. But, and again, you can change this out, but why? Why is this here? The 6-9, again, a tag for the map maker, fine, I get it. But the first thing I'd do is, if I was on this map, is I would change this out. I would rip out these fields and I would just make it as squared off a field as I possibly could. But I just don't see the point, because it just, again, it is this a testing map? Is this a map that I'm supposed to play on and fall in love with? Is this a map that's supposed to be kind of a throwaway, kind of a, come on and just goof around kind of thing? I mean, this map is completely ill-defined in my opinion. What else? The water reservoir area that's right there by the farm, I think I mentioned this, just looked really off and whatnot. I think I mentioned that before. The 69 on the top of the field, top of the map there, I'm just kind of reading through my list, because I made a list. Let's see. Map cannot decide what it wants to be. Oh, so the picture that's around the border of the playable area, just really in some areas, especially when you're in the southern portion of the map, if you get right up on top of the corner, like if you're doing field work, and there's a couple fields, I'll take us to them. There's a couple fields where you're right on top of the border, and it really stands out. It really sticks out, like, hey, almost like you're gonna fall off the edge of the world kind of stuff. So it's one of those, like, a better border periphery would have been better suited. Now whether this is just the generic border and all that kind of stuff, that's one thing, but I really think that a outside perimeter border would have served this map far better than the one that was used, because you can see the horizon over there is just looks like nothingness beyond these hills. But we get over, and now you can see the tree line. Now, I like how the map maker put in these random smattering of trees. It keeps you away from the outer border and kind of closer to here. But you can see, if I'm in kind of close up and whatnot, this is fine. It looks okay. But if I'm doing something like harvesting this area, and I'm pulling way out and seeing, and now I look in this direction, you can see this clear drop off of that corner there, and it just looks really rough. A kind of more hilly landscape in the background there would have made for a less of a transition cutoff, and I think would have been a little bit better suited for this map, especially considering how high the elevation shift is down here in the south. Having some higher hills or even mountains around the facility may have suited this area a little bit better. Let's see. The last one. No, I think that's about everything that I took note of. Like I said, it's just this map is trying to do way too many things all at the same time, and it can't decide if it wants to be taken serious or not. That's my biggest issue with this map, is that it just doesn't know. Now again, I'm saying a lot here. I'm saying a lot of negative things, and it's all intended to be constructive criticism. This is nothing personal, nothing. I'm not trying to hurt feelings or anything. I'm extremely grateful to every single person out there who creates a map, regardless of how I feel about it, because I can't do this. I can't make a map. I will openly and honestly admit that this is something that's well outside of my scope. And because of that, I will admit that, hey, this is something I can't do, but I will point out the facts that I feel are needing to be pointed out, because hopefully if this were to get back to the map maker, hopefully if somebody has the power to do something about these things, maybe those are the things that could be taken back as the potential future updates kind of thing. Let me tinker back, let me take this back and try and tinker and see what we can do to make it just better, more playable. Because right now, as it stands, this is almost unplayable, in my opinion, for me. For other people, they're going to listen to this, they're going to hear this and be like, BDD, Big Daddy Dave, you are nuts. This map is amazing, this is awesome, I love it, this, that, and the other thing. And that's fine, that's absolutely fine. If you feel that way, then more power to you. And again, I'm grateful for the map maker for making this, putting forth the effort that it took to make this. That's great. I love it. I love that there's people out there trying to make maps, trying to make mods, doing things like that. But I hope that it's not taken in a way where it's taken personally, that it's taken as an attack. It's not intended to be that. It's intended to be, hey, these are the things that I would look into to potentially try and make this map better. And that's it. That's all this is intended to be. So, all that being said, what would I give this map? 0 to 5 scale as per usual. Right now, in its current form, and how everything's kind of laid out, I would give this map probably a 0.5. Probably a 0.5. I think that's where I would give this map, because of just how wonky so many different aspects of this map are. And wow, I haven't even actually been out this way, and you can see all the grass that's covering this part of the road too. So like this whole area is just completely overgrown. So this is actually a worse issue than I originally thought. And look at this, even the road coming out to here, like there's supposed to be a road out here somewhere. Yeah, see, right here. But anyways, a 0.5. 0.5 is where I would kind of leave this map, because of just all the things I've said before. It needs to define itself. It needs to define itself as, okay, I'm going to be just kind of a tinker map. I'm going to use this as a testing map. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. Whatever the case may be. If this is going to be a testing map, then that's fine. If this is going to be a tinker map to come on and just mess around with, that's fine. But right now, you can't decide. You can't tell me what kind of a map this is going to be. And because of that, it just really makes it difficult to want to invest the time into doing something with this map. Oh, and this was another thing. The sign here, the gas station sign, way out before where the gas station is, makes no sense to me. No sense whatsoever, especially when we got another sign right there by the gas station. So, it just, again, that one, I'm not going to say is necessarily nitpicky per se, but there's a lot of things about this map that just kind of leave me not impressed. So, which is unfortunate. It's very unfortunate. I think that there's definitely potential, and if some of these things are addressed, if some of these issues I brought up earlier were addressed, I could see this map getting up to maybe a 3 to a 3.5, maybe even up to a 4, because I really do love the landscape. The landscape on this map is amazing. It's gorgeous in some areas. This whole kind of elevation in this field to my right, I love that. I love that. You own this area right here. You own this plot of land, and you're trying to cut the grass and do something with this. Look at this. This is going to be tons of fun to try and cut this with anything. Trying to get up and down this is going to be an absolute nightmare, but it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun and worth the challenge. So, like I said, it's just, I want to love this map. I want to, really enjoy it because of the landscape and how it looks. But I just can't. Unfortunately, I just can't. So that's pretty much where I stand on this. But I hope you enjoyed this map tour. If you did, please show me by liking, sharing, subscribing, following, commenting, doing all the things the algorithms enjoy doing. The shows are engaged with this channel, enjoying the content. And that being said, I hope you have a fantastic day. Take care.